the process, I lost the stop share. Okay, let's do a small exercise. And we are fighting Pepsi and Coke. I think we are now quite well versed with marketing. We know finance, we know HR, everything now. Enough of MBA. Let's get into business. So we are fighting and creating a new drink called, you want to call it, we're fighting PK or Seco, whatever. PK coming from Pepsi and Coke, or Seco, obviously the other levels. So what features do you want in your drink? The new drink, you know, there's always a room for a new player. We're tired of Pepsi and Coke, right? You drink Pepsi? Yes. Direct or it's okay, so what features do you want in your? If you want to find that big competitor called Pepsi,
so maybe look for healthier options.
Maybe you look for a healthier option. Okay.
Just cost.
Is there a pen here? Okay, healthier option. What is healthy?
Less of
okay, less sugar. Okay,
less of carbohydrates.
what?
Less carbohydrates.
Less carbohydrates. Okay, then
Something natural. Then water.
it's natural. What is that?
Citric acid. Less less.
That's the history. What is?
I think
Okay. What is the class value? You are behaving like chemical scientists. Now, that's what marketing. What's wrong with Pepsi and Coke that you really want to start a new drink?
the packaging.
They have a problem with their packaging. I'm asking you what's wrong with them.
Costing.
They have a costing. Yes. They have a costing issue. The problem, right? Costing. What else is the problem? Okay. So what do you want to do? You want to come up with a product which will have less sugar, which will have less carbon, more natural, right? And more of citric acid. That's okay. Then what else? What did you all have for lunch? It was so sleepy. So, what features do you want to know? You want in your new drink? Remember, do you know your 4 P's? Do you know your 4 C's? Do you know your SWOT? Do you know your BRI? What is SWOT? Okay. What is BRI? Yes, people will answer that. So the drink that you're going to introduce to a new set of people, what will make it more valuable? Uniqueness. What is unique? I mean, you have that. I mean, what would you do? What will be the uniqueness? Which you said, what is that uniqueness? You really have a product. Everybody knows what is good about Pepsi. What's bad about Pepsi or Coke? And nothing wrong with it. It's a wonderful drink to have once in a while. But what is it that you will do to make your drink? You've got 2 names of options, or whatever that combination of names are. So what will you do? Think different. What is that? Energy. You call it an energy. Okay. What is that? More place. What's wrong with Pepsi? You want it to be diet friendly. And that you have
Adding some features which you're not be able to.
asks you what drink do you want to create for astronauts, then you can come. But that's a drink that you will have it. It's not a complicated question. What do you want in a better coffee? Maybe more richer, more tastier, more aromatic. You can answer that more flavor. Now, why can't you answer the drink which is the most popular drink in the world?
Pepsi is more targeted towards a particular age. I would say.
What is that age group?
It's coming from middle young.
Who drinks Pepsi and Coke? And who doesn't drink Pepsi and Coke? Now I think Jyotsna is getting some sense in the conversation.
They wouldn't prefer Pepsi.
Yeah, so you as Mr. Pepsi or Miss Coke, whatever you want to call yourself, are you interested in that age group? Are you not?
From Pepsi Coke's point of view, I believe they are that.
You believe they are not interested. What is happening to the world population?
More of
We hit one number. What is that number?
8.1.
8. You keeping track of it every day. Will we reach 9 billion?
No, less than. There are 8 billion.
It will never reach 9 billion. Then now you need to come back and answer me at the end of it. This is the map of the world population. And then now it's kind of coming. Why? Is China adding more people? India is also taking itself very seriously. What's happening to Japan? What's happening to Europe? The number of how many of you? I remember this time when we knew families who had a whole cricket team with them, including the third man, or the what is called the 12th man or whatever it is. So, but now where are those? So now, who do you think is your new population? That would possibly be. What else do you want in the drink? She came up with 2 reasons. Thank you all. What do you want in the new drink? Who are you going to look at? Who is going to be the new consumer? All that is fine. What is the product? Now, who are you going to target? Are you happy? Middle age. Why? Okay, middle age. And why? They're ready to spend money. They're ready to spend money. So you want to say that you're going to make it more friendlier, increase the cost. Is that what you're saying? Okay. Fair enough. Anybody else online? You want to say something? Are you able to hear me well?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what do you want to add to this conversation?
I think,
Yes, go ahead.
I think the traditional drinks, the Pepsi, Coke, we know what kind of taste. I think for the new drink which are coming up, I think we would be focusing if you can change the taste,
Okay.
the flavor.
Right. So what I'm saying, you could bring new features, but you also need to know for whom are you bringing those features and why are you getting out there. With that in mind, let's look at this particular conversation. What is the motive of any company? What is the motive of every company? Growth. Growth, 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 and only. So how do you grow? What is growth? I have to grow my market. What does it mean by saying growing the market? Do you think I should close the thing? You might be. I think the concept. Growing. What does growing the market mean?
Expansion.
Expansion. Structure. Well established. Growing revenue means what? Growing revenue means
Profit.
Increase the sales.
revenue is profit.
I know.
It's still not gone home. Progress of it. So we have a question on that. Let's revenue and profits are same or different? We could be more. Your revenue should be more to have more profits. Is that correct?
Your profit is part of the revenue.
The part of the profit is part of the revenue. Okay. And is everybody happy with the way, the exception of Twitter and Elon Musk, they really want to grow the size, They want to increase their employee size. That's it, right? Every entity wants it. They have to be proud that I've employed 100,000 people. I've done this to the society. I have to do that. So the question is, who controls your growth? Why some organizations are not? Who controls the growth of it? Customers control your growth. Indirectly, competitors stifle your growth. So, how do you analyze your customers? How do you analyze your market? How do you analyze who is your competitor? You, of course, control your growth using the 4 P's: your product, your pricing, your company, your benefits, where are you, what are you doing and sitting. But you must also know your customer. Do you know your customer? Who is a typical ideal market for this customer? So one example that I used to always give, and I'll probably give this, is when the executive MBA program started in here, the one that you are attending, I was asked to suggest what is the best marketing thing that we can. So I asked them how much money do you have. So they said we have plenty of money for marketing, not a big problem. So I said, let's hire one helicopter and go over Bangalore and drop these new leaflets. Diane Sagar starts new executive MBA program and just drop those leaflets. It will virtually reach everybody, and then we'll have lots and lots of people joining for our executive MBA. You think I was good idea? That was my idea. How to so why? What's wrong with it? What's wrong with that idea?
Thanks for that. Maybe wherever you are dropping, there might not be the students who are willing to come.
There may not be student there. Okay. What else could go wrong? Maybe it's not a proper advertisement. You're doing the wrong thing. Okay.
Hello. You
So you need to know. So what would be a better way of doing it? I think somebody else suggested was, why don't you stand in front of all IT officers and then give them? Would that be a better way? So the idea is, you must know your customer. Who are you going on? Second is, you must know your competition. You know who is there, who is not there, what is going to happen. And of course, you must know the market. So what we are going to do over the next couple of minutes or the next hour is to understand what are the things that we need to look at. We need to know who is the customer, who is our competitor, what is the regulator. Somebody said it's illegal to do. So what is the is it that we do certain things or not? And auto sector, what did Volkswagen do which was not against the regulation? What did yeah, so that it looked like a perfect engine and very environmental friendly. But then that's what. So the customer loved it, the competitor was surprised what was happening, but then the regulator found out. And all of this, there is that invisible hand. Is that all of this comes and mix. You don't know how the market will react. Maybe it will be a success, maybe it will be a failure. So we really don't know. So what we are going to do in today's class is to look how to put all of this together to look at it. Now let's take 2 minutes to look at these 2 ads. Who is this product for? Can you see it well, or you want me to go full screen? Prefer full screen. I don't know if I can go full screen. View a full screen. No, I'm actually using the Google thing. doing it online. So I haven't downloaded. Yeah. So who is this product for?
For the age group,
For the age group?
no, this is religion. This is targeting a religion.
This is 1 to
25.
what happened to somebody very scared.
Married people.
It's for unmarried people.
Segmentation. No,
Unmarried. No.
no, we find
See, we're having a healthy conversation. So remember, there's no wrong answer. The more you talk, the more we will be able to do it. Okay, so somebody is saying for unmarried man or woman, it doesn't really matter. Okay. And she's saying no, not necessarily.
Like it is also concentrating on some communities in Canada.
this is purely.
So Canada people cannot go here.
They
can.
can. They're probably that concentrated, like Canada has concentration. Like,
So Canada matrimony is all for 4 people.
no, like they
No,
are.
it's-
So if you're rich and Tamil speaking, where will you?
No.
It's two ads. I know there are lots of other ads. Yeah, so you exactly know who this thing started. This says that primarily you must be Kannada speaking, and we don't look at your annual income or how much POW, RY, all that we're not talking at this stage, but you primarily must be for those. And those Kannada can be definitely rich. There's no doubt about it. Here, we are not talking about the language, we're not talking about religion. We are saying that, as a matter of fact, this ad appears in today's paper. I mean, I saw it. This is an old post of mine, but it's up here. So you must be at least 2 crore, 3 crore, whatever that worth is. So you know who this product is for. Now we have another one, which is who this product is not for.
But not the one who are married fresh. So since they were
They must have been married. They were
like you're not, I mean, who is your product not for?
not for.
Yeah, not for the ones who are getting married for the first.
Were not for those who are getting married for the first time. What else? It's what about the richness, language?
I don't think so.
None of these parameters. Are you all following me?
Yes.
I'm setting the stage for a conversation. So this is for the unmarried.
No.
This is for the slightly unhappy married.
Purely.
Good thing, right? Okay. You get what it is. Yeah, this can go on. Okay, fair enough. Now let's look at this. Horlicks. What's the message coming out from? Yeah, look at the top. Look at the top. Then we spend active time conversing this, because if you are able to, all of you, at least 1 out of every 5 or 6 give me some answer, then I know that you are catching up with me. So Horlicks is basically, I guess, it's a health drink. So what is Horlicks trying to do?
It is capture all the
They are trying to capture all the segments of the
age group.
age group. Okay. Point number 1. What else are there? Okay, let's get the age group here. We are saying a kid is before a teenager, right? So this is below 30, and I guess this is whatever. Okay, 18 adults is 18. That's fair enough. So one large category you said is that they are trying to look at 2 categories. What's happening here?
It is
in that
What
space of like motherhood, then womanhood. Like it doesn't.
Why are they doing this? Do you think they really have some unique formulas?
But they don't want to. They don't.
They don't want to lose customer out.
like probably when I become a mother, like I want to switch product, but they don't want to use it.
They don't want to do it. And what about, and then of course, there are the really healthy guys. If you're not all that healthy, then maybe you can look at this. So what are they doing? One is they have done a mass segmentation. What is that mass segmentation? Kids, left side of the room, rest on the right side of the room. The right side of the room, first column is women, mothers to be, fathers not to be, I'm sorry. It's all that you're putting in different columns and doing it. So why? Because they believe they don't want to lose any one segment of the market. Do I have something for the diabetic? Yes, yes. Do you have something for the mother to be? Yes. But I'm perfectly fit. Oh yes, we do have something for you, that light tolerance of protein plus. So we got everything covered. But similarly, look at this.
Yeah, because they know everybody likes it.
Yeah, so moreover, I think at one point you're going to get fed up of drinking Tulsi milk all the time. Let me have a change in things. Right? I mean, I don't keep going to the same restaurant. You really want to have some change. So here they're bringing you a lot of diversity so that you continue to be with us. And some of us may believe, and this was actually a super hit. These are actually immunity health drinks that screen cut did come out well. So I remember there was a shop near my house and there was a huge demand for it. So there you go. With this little bit of a conversation, let's look at this. All of you saw this ads ad in today's thing, no? So what is the message here? What is the message?
Spillful.
What is that?
Spillful. Attraction.
Oh, I'm sorry, I couldn't hear.
Spillful.
Smell good. Okay, that is fair enough. But what is some of those? Attraction.
Fragment of the
Intents of that. Okay, what else?
Probably they're trying to leave the mindset of people.
Probably they're trying to. Does this happen?
No.
No, right? Yeah, right. Yeah. But then why this? But why this? It's because every person has a dream. Every person has an aspiration. The moment I go, I wear myself a more sporty shirt, I feel I'm looking younger. Doesn't really matter what it is. It gives me that feeling. Right? If I have an expensive watch, I feel I'm rich. It's all a feeling, right? So it gives you some kind of an aspiration. It addresses a certain need of a particular kind. So who is this guy? Most likely the one who is struggling to find some great girlfriends, or the one who is all lost, who is wondering what it is. So I don't know if you know, there's a serial called Mungeri Lal Te Hasin Sapne. So the guy will go and then he'll go into a dream, and so these are all dream makers, dream weavers. They're creating a dream for you. And it's only when you create a dream that the product becomes a success. And if you look across all of it, even in the most mature markets, you need to create it. So now let's enter into what is known as three main ways of categorization of any market. What are those three markets? Which is called segmentation, targeting, and positioning. Now, let's say you want to start a restaurant. That one big segmentation that you can do is what? You can start a veg restaurant, or you can start a veg. Sounds very, very basic. I was saying maybe you can have a restaurant where you have fast food, where you don't provide chairs for them. Just very, very basic. Or you give them a chair and sit, and then we allow you some one basic segregation of it. The second is when somebody is out of college or out of, let's say he just completed his PU, either you have two potential markets, those who failed. So you tell them here's another chance for you. And those who have done well, you say them, okay, I'll give you money for. So it's now not segmentation, but it is targeting the second few students or targeting the students who are out of engineering, whatever that is. You're not segmenting the market, you're targeting. Very, very basic definition of this. Now look at this positioning. This is a young boy and this is a worker. What does the worker expect to? What am I done? What does a young teenager expect? Sporty, fancy. He believes that he will flip on the road. He believes that he will look smarter than etc. True, right? And nothing wrong.
And
What happens when
look-wise, they expect
luxury and more flashy? But what does the worker want?
Economy.
Economy, consistency. That will really take me from point A to point B. But it's the same bike. It's the same bike. It's a question of what picture you want. The same bike, do you want Dhoni to advertise for it? Or do you want somebody like I don't know, some other young guy, or Tiger Shroff or something? It's a different message, right? Dhoni advertising is already like somebody who is hardworking category. Tiger Shroff would be, all kind of fun stuff. So this is a basic conversation that we're going to have, which is segmentation, targeting, and positioning. Now let's spend 2 minutes looking at these two. Know your customer. Online, any questions? I don't want to see you. I'm with them all the time. Okay, so we have 3 categories of cars. One is an Alto, one is a Ertiga, and the other is a Tesla. Now take a few moments out, either as a group, not more than 3 minutes. Put all of them under the categories of what is the age of the person, typically who's owning a Tesla, which is the favorite channel that they watch, and which feature will help you close the deal. Where are they likely to be located? What is their family size? What is their income? What is their gender? Where do they dine? And which channel do they watch? Dine. Where do they go out and have food? Okay, well, which restaurant would they be going, in your opinion? So, or we could do it all together. I think let's do it all together. What's a typical age of an Alto owner? Middle age. So the young will not have an Alto? No? You mean otherwise a very old people will not have an Alto? They will have. So we are confused now. We are confused on what category that we are talking about. Age. Age above 40 for Alto. Below that, that could be your first car. That could be your first car. So it could be. No, I'm not saying Alto per se as in Alto category. The same segment. So can we conclude that age is not an important factor?
Yes.
Okay. Then income is definitely a factor for. They are most likely to be under whatever lakhs per annum, or it could be for somebody else. Gender. Gender is not important, and family size. Okay, now it's family size of Alto versus Ertiga. Ertiga. So what happens to the family size of Alto versus family size of Ertiga?
Alto's.
Six or seven. Okay. Gender, Ertiga?
No.
No. Okay. If what
Actually,
matters.
yeah, probably at one time, for my regular college. It becomes a college.
Yeah, exactly. So you said primary size matters, right? So alto would be less than 4 or less than, let's say, 4. Then I do greater than. I'm planning for more, but unfortunately dropping because of weight. Okay. Yeah. So what about what is their location? Where are they likely?
Urban areas,
Urban areas, not rural. What do they?
location doesn't matter.
Location doesn't matter. Now somebody is
It's not very.
no, also versus just discussing also under. So location doesn't really matter. Location matters. Location matters. Where are they likely to be?
Although inside the city.
So inside the city, in the way to solve the problem is to ask the guys online. But they are, I think they are checking the price of the vehicle. So anybody online, what is it? Okay.
There already.
Hello, sir. What is the question, sir?
What is that? Can you repeat it?
No, what was the question? Sorry.
Okay, I was told that if I use this, it might work out to be better. Okay. Well, I'll leave it. The easier option is to ignore it. Okay, the question was, is there a locational consideration for an Alto buy?
No, sir.
The whole feature of Maruti is that we have a absolute wide reach. So you could be any part of the world, any part of India, and you would get a service like that. And where do they dine? It doesn't matter.
It's not.
A kind of the economical place where it matters to be. And now let's move to Tesla. Enough of Alto consideration. So Tesla, what is the age factor?
No, it's not.
You see 25 year olds,
That you please need to be 30 plus to be able to buy your.
If you are doing like
Okay, income, higher income, gender doesn't matter. And family size also is irrelevant. It is definitely not my first car.
yes,
Tesla would be that I would have half a dozen other. Location,
matters.
I think that's very, very important. I mean, they're most likely to be in
The
metro areas. And then which channel do they watch? Is a very interesting consideration because you see there will be ads of Alto up here, or there will be ads of these up here. I mean, regional channels might want to focus on Alto. I think I would rather say if I can put an ad in Netflix or if I can put an ad in something. So anyway, the point is how well do you know your customer, and you cannot just arbitrarily go around taking up all kinds of comments and looking at all kinds of places. So that said, the entire principle of marketing strategy rests on how specialized you are, what is the differentiation factor that you have, the segmentation, and let's go one more slide here and get the grip of it. There's two ways to look at this slide. One is to look at it from this way to here onwards, or you might want to do an analysis. So when you come up with any plan for any product, you may want to consider all of these key factors before you decide it. And then you decide which is the market that you're going after. Whom are you targeting? What is the position that you are going to propose, the proposition, the positioning of the mind, and then you have all your 4 products. Or you could say, I have this product, who do I target it for? And then I do a downward analysis of the 2 ways that this would work. Now, the second ad that we saw was the Bharat Matrimony. Now, there were 3 key players in that ad. There was Dhoni, there was the mother, and there was the girl. What is the message? And whom is this ad targeted?
This is
The mother.
The mother. Why is it targeted at the mother?
no, it is targeting the getting that. But stop using that app.
How many of you believe that it is targeted?
So,
Yeah. So, how many believe that it's targeted at the girl? How many of you believe it's targeted at the mother?
it's
It's targeted at the girl. It's targeted as a girl to the mother. Why? Specifically on that, what does it say?
Maybe they are.
The girl says, I know that this is. Tell my mom. So what does it say? The girl is very confident on applying in that channel because she knows that he said here, channel is safe. All you have to do is convince my mother. But who's going to buy the product? It's not the girl who's going to agree to buy the product. So many a time the user would be different from whom you are trying to target the market. So you could have a segment. What was that segment? Was that we want Bharat matrimony for girls who are planning to get married. But that is the segment. But what is the targeting message that going on to the mothers, saying that listen, it is the same thing. Your daughter trusts, so you can right will go ahead and you can go ahead. So you look at segmentation, and then you will start looking at targeting of it. Any questions so far? I want to go to one particular slide and then come back here. Okay. Why segmentation? Why targeting? Why position? Why this whole thing is happening? Is because if you look at the world 10 years back, 20 years back, 30 years back, what was the problem of the world? Was that there was a mass market. There was only one Bajaj, there was only one Premier Padmini, and then there was only one ambassador, right? So what used to happen? There was a mass market, and there was a long product line. How many of us actually use the product till the end of its life? Not at all. There was a time when people would wear torn out shirts. The shirts don't tear nowadays, right? I mean, they just last. We only get tired of them. So now, what is that? Yeah, they just buy left, right. What is that? Very nice. Yes, because that's perfectly because the market has got fragmented. Very nice. So they are named customers. What do you mean by saying named customers? Customers who are innocent. Yes. You just tell him, oh, buy this, you happily buy this. You go to a shopkeeper and say, which product should I buy? He say, buy this. What's your commission? So that was then. We went because it had certain features. Who is buying on features now? We are buying on emotion now. Right? There were earlier, every refrigerator company or every car company would have one model every 4 years, 5 years. And if you look at, if you had an IBM PC compatible, The next 4 years, that was the only model available. Limited offerings, opaque pricing. You did not know what was the money that they were. What is the price? And one thing that even now astonishes me is the price of spectacles. There's just no way that I don't know what the product pricing is. So that was then. At that time, no segmentation, no targeting, no positioning. Want to buy it, buy it. Because there's only one market. You have very limited people giving you information. The customer anyway is not educated. I said, right, take the customer for a ride. It works, but no longer. Now it's a fragmented market. We are looking at diabetic users versus mothers to be versus kids. It's a fragmented market. And it's a short product life. I get tired of these products. You know, how many times you have been going to keep on using Horlicks? You're going to throw Horlicks and buy something else. Just for the fact that you don't get tired of the brand. And brand tiredness is actually a big thing. Now, name customers versus demanding customers. You don't serve me, I will go somewhere else. 10 years back, 15 years back, we go and fall at the feet of BSNL and ask them now to help with you, right? Now, moved by emotions, we are carried. We are, how many of our purchases on Myntra and all these are emotional buying. It seems there is a word called when you go into depression, you buy it. And when you go into further depression, so that is it. And I know, you see, we are really moved by emotions and new product launches every third day. It's not been a year and a half since I bought my phone, and now it's already trying to replace it. Newer models coming up. So very, very new and transparent pricing. Today, I have the right to know the cost of it. Today, I have the right to know how much is the breakup of any services. Today is your last class on B2C specific. From next class onwards, we go to B2B. You cannot give a quote to your customer and say, for this, the pricing is X dollars. Customers going to ask you, break this up. Break this up. Tell me how much is each component of it. If you don't give me that pricing, I'll go to somebody else. So that is the reason why you need to segment your customer, you need to target your customer, and you need to position yourself in the mind of what the customer is wanting. So to get there, I'm looking at some slides that I will want to use this. Following me, what is the time? 3 is the break, right? I have a lot to cover today. I want to focus on one particular slide and then we'll go into. Yes. There are lots that a company can. There are lots that a company can. For example, that is, one is market specialization, selective specialization, and full market coverage. Now let's look at if this is the total market. Let's say you're addressing a particular market of health drinks. This is the total market. The market can be segregated into 1, 2, 3, 4 categories. Health drink for gym going, health drink for women, health drink for men, health drink for professors. All that will happen. But which is the segment that you're actually going to go after? You must know your product. Does my product fit in here, fit in there? And then you look at one particular segment that you want to address. And then you do your products. Product 1, product 2, product 3 for these things. The other way is to come up with multiple products for all. If you have a same market, you have multiple products which are being addressed. What Horlicks is trying to do is that it's saying that I have all products available for all markets that I'm doing. So this is one way that you will look at market specialization. I got my one thing that you need to remember is okay, I think I got a better idea here. So if you understood that the market needs to be divided into 6 segments here, 3 for all this thing, how further can I divide them? Can I divide the market into, let's say, those diabetics with a sugar level of 200 and above, those diabetics with the sugar level 150 and above, 1 point. Again, kids, girls and boys, or let's say some other. How much of will that be a good segmentation?
Please already put your bracket. If you say 1 to 3 years, 3 to 5 years, then again you are going to be manipulating the same.
So what happens when you do over segment?
Then that might not reach the targeted audience.
You cannot reach the targeted audience. Point number 1. Point number 2.
Then
They may get confused. Point number, because my son is actually 1 year and 11 months. So next month I will change the
product is much bigger.
So what is the other problem?
Of product pricing.
Product pricing. But if you have understood this so far, every segment should meet the following criteria. The criteria is, where is this? Let me see if I can get it. I got my slides a little mixed up, so that's the reason I was yesterday playing around with it, and I want to make sure that you get this in your mind. Every segment must be measurable. If you split it too much, it doesn't really matter. Measurable, it should be accessible. Can you get that kind of data? For guys with sugar levels, so and so on, is your daughter, is your kid a daughter or a son? Is it 1 and 2? Is that accessible? Does it make sense to split it into that level? Does it bring in profitability? Is there the birth of doing a differentiation? Should I decide that executive MBA, I have a different ad for girls, I have a different ad for boys? Does it make sense? Does it make sense? It is. And lastly, it should be actionable. What does actionable mean? I mean, you identify that. Okay? What is it that you press the? So you have to remember that should be measurable. You know from all kind of statistical data that how many that India is a country where more and more people are getting diabetes. You know the idea that how many women are going through the periods of various stages, and it's a profitable market for them. So segmentation matters provided these 5 parameters are fulfilled. Remember this. These 5 parameters. What are these 5 meters? Are they measurable? Tomorrow, can I go ahead and say that there were so many of them and how many of them took my product? Is it really a different market? Is it sustainable? Does it really make sense to be in that market? Make it clear, all of you? So then what is the types of segmentations that we can have? Look at the types of segmentation that we can have a demographic segmentation. What is demographic segmentation?
Limited to some area, particular region.
Particular region. Is that what it is? What is geographic then? Yeah, so demography is what? Age. Demographic segmentation is gender, age, education, income. What you're saying is geographic. What is the area that you're going? Where are they located? What is the cultural behavior of these people? So what big ads would you want to put up in Diwali, or what big ads do you want to put up during a particular season? You want to address that particular crowd. That is kind of geographic. What is psychological segmentation? Address. What is psycho? Psycho again, value, attributes, personality, aspirations. For example, so the address of the ACTS ad, was it demographic, was it geographic, or was it psychological? Is that I'm addressing the mind of aspiring. Remember, education, gender, aspiring, behavior. Is that what happens when I have a person? The moment I wear an Apple Watch, I have a certain feeling of goodness. Apple believes that they are not in the demographic market, they are not in the geographic market, they have the behavior. They believe that you feel good about the very fact that you buy it. To give you an example of it, let's take just one personality. I picked up a good name for personality today. What is this? Know her? Yes. She's all over the news, right? So let's look at who's this?
Sir, just a question, sir.
What is that?
Yeah, sir, just wanted to understand, is the sector category wise segment also falls under this segmenting criteria?
What?
Like product segment.
Product? No. We haven't gone into the product.
Okay.
Okay, 1 minute. Time out. Listen here. The question I'm asked is the product a segmentation? No. Once we do the segmentation and then we identify what right product fits in. Does it make sense to you?
Yeah, so actually sometimes what happened when we are reviewing the annual report, we have seen that companies saying that we are famously known or principally engaged in gold segment category, or might be silver or O-ring segment category. So those segments are different from this segmenting criteria.
Which company? If you can give me a little bit more without revealing, maybe if you don't want to company and things like that.
So I just saw an annual report of a mining business company. They are telling themselves they are famously known for gold mining segment. So is that segmenting criteria falls under this segmenting criteria?
Absolutely. Okay, you all of you follow his question, and it's an important one. This is a company who believes that they are specialists in gold mining. Now, is that segmentation? Of course it is segmentation, because you are specially, you could do into iron ore mining, you could do into whatever other kind of mining or data mining, but the point is not that you are choosing a particular product. Somewhere else, or in the previous class, I was asked a very interesting question, and I want you to give me the answer. How many of you know a company called Bemel? All of you know it? Bemel? What do they do? Bemel? Okay. Bharat Earth Movers Limited. Now, Bharat Earth Movers Limited, they are moving heavy trucks. Or what is the word for that? Not heavy trucks. Heavy. Actually, the word that I'm going to use is, I was about to say heavy cases. You know, he has become a construction equipment. Correct. Very good. Heavy construction equipment. Now, what is their market? Who is their customer?
Real estate.
What's your name? Akshay. Akshay. Okay. So now you're saying real estate. Okay. No. Let's get on later on with it. So what are Bevel customers? Mining companies. Okay. What kind of
Industries,
road constructions? Okay.
Defense.
Big industries. What is transport sector?
Different sector. Metropolitan.
Micro.
Metro.
Okay, but that's not heavy construction. Okay. The point that was asked to me, and I want to get back to you on this, is that my answer to you is because Bevel customers. Bevel customers are normally government or those sectors which have very, very limited growth. Mining is not growing, iron ore mining is not growing, or there are very, very few players. So what is the uniqueness of Bevel is that the market is a very limited market. There are few customers, and then these are all mostly government, semi-government, or very, 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 very large companies. So that person asked me, sir, why is Bevel not going into, let's say, real estate? Why is Bevel not going and supplying to Prestige, supplying to whatever the Shobha and all those companies? And why are they not getting into that market? Because there are more. This may need 1,000 of their equipment. This would need about 100. Why is Bevel not entering this market? What is it? What is the feedback? You agree with that question? You are all of you following? The question is, they have decided to segment the market and say, but I'm only going to address this market. I know this market. I know my customers. I know how they are going. I know what are the requirements. In the real estate business, it's a very, very tough market. Dog eat dog bird. I may have to cut my prices. I may have to cut my costs just to make a sale. Here, I am the king of the area that I am. At the most, I have 1 or 2 competitors. So every market must know what it is. So similarly, answering back to you is that is a segmentation that somebody has taken, saying that we will address only the gold segment. What I wanted to say here was, if you look at a person, let's say whatever her name is, you are doing a demographic, geographic, okay, and then you have a psychographic, and then maybe a aspirational. See, what is it? So now you know what product you want to fit for her requirement. There she is 35 years old, maybe has an 18 lakh salary, so you can mentally say that an Alto may not be what she's looking for. She's probably looking at something else, and she's Bangalore based. She's based at Prestige Falcon, so can understand what kind of a position or a mental framework of what your customer is. Every company has a mental vision of who their customer is, and this picture is very nice. What is her aspiration? She wants a green card. Eventually, at the end of life, she would want to have a green card. So she may not really care for the car, because the moment she gets a green card, she'll move from here. So this is what is known as kind of segmentation. Okay. Any questions further? Targeting. What is and let me see how I got my slides here. Targeting. Targeting is doing your targeting is getting further into the act of doing the business. Now, I'll give you 2 examples. America was looking out for a person in Afghanistan. What the name of that person? Did they know where he was? No, they didn't know, right? They were thinking that they were doing what was known as carpet bombing. They were virtually bombing all over the place because they didn't know where to find him. So that is very mass without any one focus. But if you remember very recently, there are a couple of ones, and more recently, there was an attack on a Saudi oil field. A drone came and attacked a Saudi oil field, exactly pinpointed that oil field and destroyed it. What is the difference between that and the way US did their operations? US was doing all over the place, they didn't know where to find it. Whereas in the case of the drone, it knew exactly where to target. So targeting is identifying that actual customer and putting your ad right on his thing. My idea of a helicopter dropping leaflets or brochures is like mass marketing. I mean, I might spend, nobody might end up landing up on somebody who doesn't even understand what. Okay, could be my luck is good that I might hit up with somebody else. So targeting is identifying those who actually want it. When you talk about targeting, there is something called an 80-20. That 80-20 rule is also known as the Pareto principle. What does it say?
80% of the problem is
Caused by 20
caused by 20 rules.
Sorry,
80% of the problem is because of the 20% of the core issues which are there. So
correct. And 80% of your revenue comes from 20% of customers. And all of that, right? 80% of your 20% of your email is actually relevant actionable email. Rest of it can actually be done. But then again, don't take it seriously. This is an interesting tool to talk about, but it doesn't always happen. They could also be that you make money by all your customers pulling in, because if you're in the business of what is that particular toffee chocolate which has got that candy flavor? That's no. Before the mango there was another one. There was very today. No, that's super success company. Yeah. Oh my God, what's happening to me? No, that is it's a very famous. Overnight they shot out to be, and then everybody came up with a similar product. I think it's a practical. Okay, whatever. So at some point we have to stop thinking about it. So for them, it's a potential customer. It's that 1 rupee that counts, because that's for add on. So it doesn't always be. So let's look at a typical example. Why is food really bad in restaurants?
because of the moving customers, I mean, they don't repeat.
Yeah. So when you don't have a repetitive customer will not come back. You don't really care for it. Whereas in a typical restaurant in a particular city, if you keep going here, or if the students, the executive MBA students keep going to this coffee shop, he's going to realize that I have a potential that I'll open up on Sundays, and which he actually has started doing, which he was not earlier. So once you know that there is a particular opportunity, you know that there is a targeted audience who is going in. Okay. So I guess enough of that. And then comes what is known as differentiation and value. What is differentiation?
Uniqueness of the.
Uniqueness of the product. Okay. So this product is different from example. Cost could be a factor. Ours is cheaper by 20%. What else?
Quality, quantity might also.
Anything else? Features. Features. Yeah, that's the features which are not present in some other competitor. And what is a value proposition? What is a value? Okay. What is the, let's get this. All of you, I'm sure, did a little bit of analysis before joining the GAN and Sagar. So you did a differentiation and we offered you a right. Yes? Yes. You know it at the end of the day. Okay. So what is the differentiation you define? The wide range of
Leaders.
okay. Then what else?
Flexible of.
Yes.
Recognition.
Recognition. We are recognized by so many bodies, whereas we don't know what the others. We have a faculty, yeah, pedagogy. What does that mean?
The way of thinking.
The way of teaching. Okay. Then what is the value proposition? That is what is different from me. I used to work for a company and then was actually not on the marketing side. So he used to say, we are the only one of its kind in the world. I used to say, what Ramesh? How can we? No, he said, they're the only one of the kind who have blue walls and red windows. You don't have to say what it is, but we are the only one of the kind. So there is some kind of a differentiation. But does that differentiation matter to you? That's what it is. Our classrooms are air conditioned. Our air conditioned. Our professors come in casual attire. So what? What does that mean to me? If the differentiation has to have a meaning with value. People actually, some of you are saying work from home is not a great proposition. You are actually trying to run away from home. That you are actually thinking of. Oh, not you. So what differentiation should make sense as a value? Understood? So some differentiations don't matter. Now, in that case, I want you to pay attention to this particular slide. I have to go full screen of this, though I don't know how to go.
So can I explain like this that by giving this differentiation, what value I can use? Is it this? Like
1 minute. Right now, my focus is on full screen. No, this is actually full screen. Yeah. No, okay. I think we'll. Can you see it? It doesn't matter. I don't want you to see anything other than the 3 circles. If you can see the 3 circles, you can see. Okay, so what were you asking? Somebody was asking.
I was very proposition is that by giving the differentiation, the product what value I am adding.
Yeah, what value does the customer see in that? What value does the customer see in that? But where is that other B used so far in our class? B, this. SWOT, the equivalent of SWOT is what? PRIO. What is it? Is that my service valuable? Differentiation, how much differentiation does it really matter? We offer some fine coffee to our students. So what? There are lots of differentiation that we may show. There are 20 features in our things which are features. But how many of those features does it really matter to you? This is the value proposition. So what is here is there is a company. Listen to this very carefully. There is a company, there is a consumer, and there is a company. Correct? In our life, all the time, we have this situation. There is a company, and there is a consumer, and then there is a company. Now, what is that conversation that's happening between? These are the three frames of reference: the company, the consumer, and the company. The conversation, and we'll come back to this exact point later on in pricing, is that the company is looking at the points of differentiation. What is the point of difference that the consumer is asking and the consumer is providing? Right? Now, there is a consumer wants 10 features in the product. The company is giving 8. 2 features are missing out. So there is a point of difference that is going on. There is a difference of 2 or whatever that happens. But there is a competitor who is also having a feature. Now, the competitor also may be giving 7 out of those 10 features. If the competitor is giving you 11 out of 10, there's no question of any choice, right? You're obviously going into the competitor because he completely provides what you want. Now, customer wants 10 features. This company provides 8. This company also, now since this graph is there, this company provides 7. Now, out of the 7 and 8, there is a certain section which is known as points of parity. What is points of parity? Both the competitor's features and my features are similar. Now, what is the point? This is a competitor's price points of difference. There are 2 points in which the competitor gives, which I don't give. And this is what happens in an entire consumer's mind before a decision. You understand that? Now, assuming that the competitor gives 10 features, the company gives 10 features, then which one will the consumer? Both company A gives 10 features, both company B gives 10 features. What will be the parameter? Cost. Simple. Absolutely. There is no other point of view. This guy gives you the same features, this guy gives you what else is there? It is the pricing to make it. So, in areas where we are not getting into pricing, you need to look at the frames of reference, which are points of parity, points of difference, and the points where which the competitors are. So, got it also matters. Which one? Which one? The brand is just a value proposition. The brand is a value. The brand is, that's what it is. There are 10 features in which for your requirement, exactly for your requirement, there is 10 features which is being offered by, let's say, IBM or which is that company, which is Lenovo. And there are 10 features which are being offered by Apple. Which one will you buy? Which prices were all the same? Prices were all the same, you would buy Apple. Prices were 10% more. Which Apple. But you need to look at this because sales service that is the value proposition. What are those 10 features? I give you what you want. These are the same feature. This works on Windows. This works on there. Our service capability is very similar. Then, because Branding is a value proposition. Branding is a value proposition. Remember I said, like how many of us wear t-shirts which say US Polo, and I told you about the jokes about Kamraj. Same cotton, same, it's actually the same Coimbatore factory which is coming up with this. So but the pricing is the same. The pricing is lower, but still you're not buying Ramla because of the branding. So the branding is a feature. Branding is a feature. You're willing to give 10 rupees for a distillery water, but you know that it's also H2O. You're willing to give ADR how much? 85 rupees, right? So what is the time now? 3 o'clock? Exactly. So we'll probably done with it. Let me see if I have anything else to talk about. I may have missed a few points. Okay, 258. When we come back, I'll tell you what are we going to do. We're going to come back. We're going to discuss astrology. Actually, I did a lot of research. I've actually Mukesh Ambani's horoscope.
You know how you build until
Yeah, to know how he built the thing, and we'll spend some time being astrologers. Okay, and for your term, since I have to add something for every term, for your term, I have added this thing called business model canvas. So let's go spend some good time and come back exactly at 20 minutes.
yes.
More than enough.
Yes.
3:20 sharp here, so we have 1 hour 10 minutes to work on it. Any questions so far? And wait, hang on. What is this? These are your marks. How many of you had trouble with this? How many of you actually wrote the answer which I wanted? Actually, the professor is wrong. And the professor is misguiding us or something else, right? Okay. The reason why I'm giving you is yes.
No, sir, it wasn't.
The one is on the 3 ads. The one is on the 3 ads. What is the third ad? Okay, we'll do the third ad. What is the third ad? Dhara oil. And then ancient page. That's an emotional. I will ask. My gratitude, how many of you must have seen your nephew, niece, and all that. Just an emotional, just play of it. It's not conveying any message, but you feel good about it. You know, that's the emotional part of it. One end is the acts, and the other is this, and the other one is what was that? And makes you. So you don't have to spend a lot of money for a good product. Good. See you exactly at 3:20. And I really have to make you guys sit, relocate your seats. I have actually, you know what? I have audio issues, so I should hear from all sides. Okay. On one side, I don't want. What is that? Recording. Okay. So what have we done? We try to understand our product. We try to understand our customer. We try to create a good opinion about our company by saying we have a great vision. We have a great mission statement. And then we said something's good about us. There's something bad about us. But that's not enough. What does the customer think of me? What does the customer see me as somebody who is valuable to them? or somebody who can really be done. Thus, what is the competitor think of me? The competitor is scared of it. Competitor is scared that he cannot imitate the services that I do. It happens all the time. And we talked about red ocean, blue ocean. Have you forgotten that? Or remember red ocean, blue ocean, and all that? All that is fine. But life is very fun. Can't predict. Nobody could predict the pandemic. Nobody could predict what would happen to Cyrus Mystery when he was driving. Can happen. Nobody could predict that Saudi Arabia would have defeated Argentina. But it's all about prediction. And who is the best guy to go for predictions?
Astrology.
Astrologers. Correct. So let's go to an astrologer today and ask him how is he doing. So, what compels us to go to an astrologer? Astrologers are very young. Have you been to an astrologer? How many of you actually been to an astrologer? I felt good at the end of the meeting or debate or private conversations, right? Correct. So, what compels us to go to an astrologer? Some things are not going right. I'm unsure of my future. I think there was somebody who could gaze into the future and tell me what's going to happen next. And then nothing like it, right? And there is, and you will know it next week, probably next week or week after that, is that when the actual finals happens between the two football teams, they're supposed to be. Yeah, no, there'll be one a dolphin or something which has always done something. So, you know, we are always trying to do this and, you know, cat crosses from left to right or right to left. Yeah. Okay. So all of us are built with that. And so what compels us to go to that? Something's not going right. Yes. And hopefully he will give us the answers to it. What does he normally tell us? He tells us that, okay, this is where you are. And if you do this, you will be there. And while I was doing some research today, and I was very careful, I found this Mukesh Ambani's horoscope. I put it there on strip. I said, I could be in trouble. So I also put the source. So I didn't. It's just this morning, I think few changes to today's slides. Like I told you, I added another topic. So you are that good. Then business astrologers. Who's a business astrologer? Business astrologer is the one who wears a suit and then gives you the same astrology. Is it so? Is that what makes a business astrologer? This guy is supposed to be wearing a nice blazer, and he does marriage, matchmaking, marriage life, and relationship. And marriage is when you need astrology before, after, ever. Right? So, but there is this slide. You can't see the slide, it's very, very thin. These are conversational slides, so you know, just to get the conversation going, not important. So this man says how companies can thrive post-COVID era. Post-COVID era, everybody's telling what happens. You know how many companies closed down. Some companies did very well. Some companies, and today, normal conversation that I have with the new customer is, oh, are things back to normal after COVID? And then it's they actually, our business is booming, or you know, things are never going to be the same. So we are all confused. I used to have one. I used to be with a telecom company. There was what was known as a telecom astrologer. Who was a telecom astrologer? It was this real astrologer who would, you know, somehow specialized in giving telecom, going to telecom. So he, somebody recommended him to go and meet. So he said, okay, sir, he gave the reference of some big guy in telecom. He showed my hand, saw my hand, and he said, then I think he came back after 3 months. We had an office relocation. That's the time he never came back. So astrologers in business, past is an indication of future in some way. Future is based on my astrology. Astrologers can go wrong, and there is act of God. What is act of God? Whatever I do to the pandemic, predicted the pandemic, right? And astrologers, when astrologers go wrong, what happens to them? They cut their neck off, right? The king has nothing to do, just kill him off. But remember, even in business, businesses die, products die, and companies die too. Lots of products have died. Where is the typewriter? Where is the nano? Where is the pager? Where is the lots of other things? They're gone and they're gone. They're not going to come back. Where is a real or whatever that X-ray machines or the physical cameras? They're all gone. The paper-based cameras. So, if you were an astrologer, what are the three things that you would want to predict about the future? You are now the business head of your company. The company has chosen you after 18 months or 17 months of executive MBA program. How many months is that? 17 months. They say, okay, now you're the business. What will you do? How will you drive the company? That's your job. I mean, you can't, honestly, everyone that you have been associated with will see a different view or will anticipate a different. 18 months, you have to be different. How that difference comes out, either they will notice, wow, man, you guys are doing very differently, or hey, what did you do with your 18 months? Right? So, what is the job of a business head? The job of a business head is to anticipate the future. What will happen tomorrow? Like Arun, right? Arun and I were talking about what will happen to the existing what is Splendor. Splendor is not a Splendor is a or TVS City, TVS Victor. What will happen to them another 5 years from now? Do you think people will buy? Or don't know. Maybe something will happen. Maybe India will strike oil. The price of oil will collapse, and internal combustion engines may boom, have another big peak coming up. So, what do you anticipate in your life? What do you visualize the business will happen? Can you predict for tomorrow's business? Are you prepared for tomorrow's business? And you have to get rid of people also. Underperforming people you have to get rid of. Right? What was the GE head, Jack Welch? Jack Welch had a simple philosophy. The bottom 10% I'll get you. So you have this Indian Idol and all that. So now you are in a safe zone or whatever that's saying. So this is the job of a guy who's doing some predictions. But why are we doing all this conversation? We know some trends for sure. This brings me to another topic which I have not discussed with anybody else, but now is probably the right time. New topic of conversation. What is black swan? Gray rhino. Okay, unplanned for. Let's see how this conversation goes. Have you ever heard these two terms? Gray rhino, you see the birds. Black swan. You heard it, but not able to kind of place it. Okay. So, typically, what is the color of the swan? White. So, you imagine you are looking on a lake. Then you see all this beautiful white swans going. In the middle of it, there's one black swan. It's an unexpected event. It disrupts the whole picture. The beautiful picture, boom, there's one black swan appearing, and then the whole idea of the picture looks ugly, or the picture or your impression about the swan changes. for the background changes. The pandemic was one black swan. It just came like this. 9/11 was one big swan. The world changed. Absolutely, the world changed. From that day onwards, the impact of that word is a big. That's something that all of us can be excused about. Nobody can predict a black swan. But a gray rhino is something that's happening inside. Yes, I can see some gray rhino activity here. Or you will see some gray rhino activity in the world. It's happening, it's slowly changing it, and you're on. One fine day, you will notice that the weather has changed overnight. The weather doesn't change overnight. The weather slowly moves up. What you will notice that somewhere at some point, this is changes that are happening and you're not noticing. Changes that are happening and you're not noticing. That is, earlier, there are what they say, Bangalore roads. Bangalore roads 20 years back were good roads. But Bangalore roads didn't become bad overnight. There was no volcano or there was no asteroid which came and destroyed. It's a gray rhino effect. Slowly, the Bangalore roads have now become so bad that I don't think you can even repair them because 80% of the roads are bad. Then how do you repair them? So, a great rhino activity, something that's happening right in front of your eyes, and you're not noticing it. It happens in all businesses. All over a period of time, you will notice that the project that you're working on, the specialization that you have, less and less opportunities are coming. So that's a gray rhino effect. You must realize my existing skill sets are dying. They don't die overnight. Opportunities for your existence. So trends are of two kinds. One which is instantaneous, a black swan, or one slowly that disappears out. It is not overnight that people move from television to OTT. It's a slow change. People who saw the change reacted to it. The ones who didn't see the change are now suffering. It happens for them. E-commerce didn't happen overnight.
Yes.
Companies which e-commerce was a gradual change, but the companies who saw it avoided the gray rhino effect. So you're getting the point? The two things. Okay. So trends. Everybody knows that this trend is should the new vehicle be diesel, electric, or petrol? Everybody knows it's electric. How are the trends? Theaters are dying now. You're going into streaming. Holidays. Are you going to holiday for a quieter place or a crowded place? I wrote this during the pandemic because pandemic, the last thing we want to do is we don't want to be associated, right? It's a different place. Cash or cashless. Okay, this can go on. So there are trends in any organization that is happening. So the question is, how do I or my company stay ahead in the market, stay ahead of the competition, stay ahead of the technology, and stay ahead of incumbency? What is incumbency? Boredom. Just like a Coke, I'm fed up with the Coke, I go take Pepsi. Right? We have some. So you give me now, how do I stay ahead of the market? How do I stay ahead of the competition? What do I do? It doesn't matter what sector, what industry. What should I do?
Always no.
I have to innovate. Okay. What else? I have to innovate the restaurant. Innovate. What else?
You need to know what market needs. That's much like
You have to know your customer. Yeah. Know your customer. What do you do?
latest technologies.
Get better technology in. This is like doing swimming online. You guys are not really into the subject. Deep dive and give me the answers. It's your company. It's your own company. Will you come and sit and talk these terms? Innovate will take 6 months. Technology change will be a black, will take 12 months. उसके अंदर तुम्हारा दुकान बंद. So what will you do now?
I need to know what is happening inside.
Try to set the. Can you? You can't set it, right? You must be Geo or what is it? Apple. Apple is the guy who's got guts to set the trend and saying that I'll remove the CD drive from my laptop. I was wondering how dare he remove the CD drive from the laptop. But now we are used to it. They are trendsetters, but are you a trendsetter? No, there are very few people who can. What will you do right now? Well, now what are you saying? So look at the competitor's weakness and then probably drag some of competitors' customers to me. Okay, 1 point I got from you. I need 4 points. Create value to the market. Okay. What else? Adaptability. All long words. Tomorrow, day after, 3 months, you have to do something, otherwise you're out. One is innovate. That's okay. What else will you do? Look at it. How do I stay ahead of the market? How do I stay ahead of the technology? How do I look at these companies? Now you will get some idea. Which company you don't know? IBM, Casio, Kodak. What happened to Kodak?
They refuse to.
They saw a change. There was a gray rhino effect. Slowly, number of people were not taking the cameras for their holiday. They were actually taking the mobile for that.
Yes.
You should have noticed it. They are dead now. Future group. We saw business erode right in front of them. I have a what is it? Future Bazaar outlet near my house, and my neighbor orders from Big Basket. It's easier for him to walk to that place than pick up the phone, but he'll order. Business going right in front of his nose. What about Netflix? Netflix has always been ahead of competition. Right now they are in big trouble, but otherwise not really big trouble. Only in India they are not doing that great. Look at IBM. Look at Wipro. Constantly coming up with something to stay ahead in the market. Look at Casio. Casio was a world leader. They should have been the first product that I ever had was a Casio. Casio calculator, Casio watch. Where are they gone? Why? Complacence. Who can defeat me? No, I'm beyond all this, especially Nokia. We have discussed all of this. And so, how do you stay? Still, I'm not getting the answers that I need. If you know this, I should know the market trend. Okay, then what else?
The customer behavior.
So, how do I sustain growth? Okay, now I'm going to read. So, how do I sustain growth? Every month I want to grow 10%. How will I do that?
Improvise your the existing product depending on the customer needs or in the competition.
That's too many sentences in one line. So let's break it down. I want to grow. How do I grow? Very simple. Give me 4 ways of growing.
By adapting changes.
Adapting changes, okay, that's one way, but immediate, how do I grow? Immediate doesn't mean like over the next 6 months I have to grow. How do I do it?
Fulfilling the needs of the customer.
That's very difficult. What is that? One word?
Market shares.
Market?
Market.
What is market share?
By increasing the market share.
What do you mean by that?
So expansion.
Now you are talking about what expansion are you talking? Expanding what? No. Stick to whatever he started off. For me to grow, I have to increase my market share by expanding what? by increasing your customer base. So the question is how? How?
You need to know your customer.
Okay, you know your customer. Fair enough. How do you increase your customer? What did somebody say? I'll one snatch it from my competitor. Correct? I'll snatch it from my competitor. What else do I do? Build a new set of users. Okay, build a new users. Okay, I'll take this.
Revising the pricing policies.
Not allowed to talk price. How do you retain your customers? Okay, retain existing. How do you retain existing customers? By providing
Quantity value-added services.
by providing value-added services. That's too much of a statement. Can you rephrase it a little bit?
By taking care of.
By taking, of course, you take care of. Existing customers, I give them new services and new products. New. Correct? Yes. If I'm a South Indian restaurant, complete the sentence.
You will have.
South Indian meals to it so that the customer has diversity comes in. And so I got new users. I am a restaurant. I'll go into some other. I'll go into theater business or movies or whatever it is. That's a totally different line. I'm doing one business. I'll go into another business so I can do some expansion. I will bring from the competitor. I got it. None of these are my answers. These are your answers. What is that last one that you have not told us? Locations. I will expand my location. I am in Bangalore. I will go to other. Correct? Did we get all four answers? What are the four ones? Expand my customer base, which is how will you expand your customer base unless you pull it from somebody else? Give more confidence to my customer. Go into a totally new line of business, or actually expand my customer base. Give new services for my customer, and expand my locations, or go into a totally new line of business. So this whole matrix is known as the ASOP matrix, which is here. The ASOP matrix says I have products and I have markets. The same product I can give to a new set of customers. That is known as market penetration. I am penetrating into the existing market. How many of you know Rameshwaram Cafe? It's supposed to be very popular. What is he going to do? He's going to expand more branches. He's not going to offer North Indian meals or North Indian options to his cafe, because that's later on. Right now, he has a USP. People go there running behind some uniqueness. So what is he going to do? Who will go all the way to, we have an outlet in Jimmy-Nagar. Who is going to go all the way? So, okay, I'll come to you. If Mohammed doesn't go to the mountain comes to Mohammed, right? So, so what do? You do market penetration. You expand into the market, open more branches, go there. The second is go into market development. You give more products for the customer. That is the next thing that he may do. Ramesh, can they say now from Rameshwaram to Varanasi? So he might just say, I will offer you UP meals, something like that. The other is that is new customers for them, or you might get into a totally new line of business. He will do it. So ASOP matrix talks about 4 lines of ways of expanding. Are you following me? Yes. One is market penetration. That is one is market penetration. The other is market development. You have idli dosa. He will go into other markets. He's now already in Dubai. This is I wish I could get a better visibility of this. How do I do that? How do I get rid of this? Finally, right? Okay. So then that is market development and then product development. I'm known for idli, dosa, but I already do filter coffee. It's the same customer. The guy after eating dosa, he must have a cup of coffee. So it's the same customer that I'm trying to address. Same customer. Then we get into diversification. Absolutely. Inox. Inox is into solar. I mean, it's actually into wind energy market, but it's also into movies. Absolute diversification. Adani getting into telecom. Adani getting into oils. That's diversification. Absolutely new markets. So what are the 4 ways? Can you once again repeat with me? Market penetration, market development, product development, and absolutely diversification. Perfect. Good boys. Okay. What is the problem of market penetration? You will end up with low margin. This is just an afterthought. This is just that for every solution or every problem and answer, there is also a problem, right? So what happens when you penetrate? You will have to give your margins because you want to compete with the customers, with the competitor. Product development, you have too many things added to your bucket. You will not be good at anything, right? What is the big point in being a generalist? You want to be a professional. Right? This place is known for. This place is known for 100. No restaurant can ever survive with that kind of thing. This price. So if you have too many products, you will lose your uniqueness of solution. Vidyarthi Bhavan offers only 3 varieties of food and it is only located in one place. There are dosas available, but they won't be there. They don't want to do anything like that. But too many markets, you lose focus. Where do I concentrate on? Where is the crisis? Which market do I concentrate on? There's something happening in this market, and then I use my own. We'll talk more about this in our last class. And totally diversified strategy. No, I don't know anything about that product. I have to bring anybody, I have to bring consultants. There's too much of confusion. So that is, anyway, the problem with these.
But too many diverse. Tata is the example that they are into all the segments of all the products almost. But
absolutely, they are a conglomerate. What happens in Tata is that Tata is a different story because this is Tata Sons. Then you have Tata Automotive Limited, Tata Steel, Tata Software. Here is where the by the time you go from this point to this point, there are too many layers of checks and balances. Okay, that it's not an overnight development. It's over so many years that they have worked. So the focus of Tata Sons is on these 3 verticals. Each of them are doing. It's a sub-verticalization. It's not like how do I tell you? It's not that everybody is involved in everything. Even Reliance is into many things, but lots of companies which are diversified and done well. But that's a planned activity. As long as you know, I'm not saying that. That's why I said we'll not spend too much of time talking about it. But you must be aware of what happens when you spread yourself too thin, right? You spread yourself too thin, you lose focus. Ola is into autos, Ola is into rideshare, Ola is into this. At one point, Bhavesh Agarwal is going to say, I'm going to get rid of one of the businesses so that I can concentrate, right? You can't be. We can't even have a captain for all 3 formats of the game, right? It's not a good idea. So that is the problem, but not too much of a discussion on that.
so if we have a clear strategy, then we can manage.
Then we can manage. Now we come to having understood. We will talk about 2 terms. Hopefully, this is the slide that I have got the right one. Okay, let's say relative market share and market growth. Let me just go a couple of slides and say, okay, what is market share? And give me an example. It's very clearly mentioned. What is market share? Market share is, give me an example of a company and its market share.
For example,
Give me your company's market share.
here, 14.5%.
14.5% of what?
Total two-wheeler.
What is total two-wheeler industry you are having a
If the 100 people are using vehicle,
two-wheeler?
vehicle. So how many our vehicle, two-wheeler vehicle there?
That's
That is-
about
that is what
15 people. 15 out of 100 people are buying your vehicle. Okay, now can we concentrate on this? Not here, and then we dig very deep into our understand all parts of the discussion. Then we go. Okay, very good. So you are saying that out of 100 vehicles, 15 vehicles, and you can cut data. Okay, right now we are not discussing, so you can throw any figure that you want, so that all of us can. So out of 100, 15 vehicles are TVS. The rest 85 is
Different players.
different. You know that, right? Hero, Baker, right? So you got market share. Now, relative market share. What is relative market share? Who do you hate? You hate Honda? Do you hate Bajaj? Which is the competitor you hate? Yeah. Bajaj. Okay, pick one. Bajaj. So, compared to, you are selling 15, how many Bajaj?
Yes, around 350.
Please, make up your mind.
Yeah,
60. So, relative to Bajaj, your share is a little.
Same now.
We'll do that later. So, right now, you're saying 15, now you got more data, right? What is the data you presently you had a data of 100. Now then he gave you a data of 15. Now he's giving you one more data, which is 60. So relative to Bajaj, you are not doing of it at this moment of time. But how is the whole market for the last 2 years? It's not so very good because of pandemic, crisis, dollar rise, with all those things. It will not do that. How much did you do last month, last 6 months? Don't give me any. You did good. So let's say how many? If you say you were supposed to sell 15, but the market is very bad, so you sold only 8. So now we are getting the picture. We are not discussing any of this. We look at it and then maybe go ahead. So 100 is supposed to take 15. Somebody else is taking 16, but he is not that unhappy that Bajaj has got 16 because of the latest news that has come in. Is that the whole market is not doing all that well, all kinds of problems. And he is sold 8. How much did Bajaj? 5. Now, so your boss is now going to be very angry that last year we sold 15, but this year we sold 8. So your boss will be angry, or how will you play with the word so that your boss is going to be happy? No, what will you tell him?
In comparison to
Bajaj. So that's big. Market is collapsing. How will happen? In 10 years, internal combustion engine would be dead. But despite that, Bajaj was doing very well. So I am doing. So what are the 3 things that we learn? We learn what is called market share. We learn relative market share. And then we have done the new term called relative market growth. So how have I grown? Relative means compared with somebody else. Okay, so now what is market share? The companies compared to the entire business of the market, right? This could be anything. It's how you play with yours. the entire transport industry, my revenue is much. Or like he didn't want to risk that, he said entire two-wheeler industry. But he has got other problems. He's also competing with Bajaj on the three-wheeler. But he may want, okay, let's look at it. How do you want to play around with the number? Let's say that your two-wheeler is doing very badly, but your actual three-wheeler has done better. So how do you want to project your annual report? You might want to say the combined two and three-wheeler market segment might sound better than. So it's about how you define your revenue compared to the entire market. That makes sense? Perfect. So the
export 200%.
yeah, so it's how you play with that. Oh, that reminds me. Okay, that reminds me. I had a professor in my college who said that 50% of the girls in his final year married the students, another 50% married the.
और अगर टाटा को प्रॉफिट होगा ना भारत में इन्वेस्टमेंट करेगा और टाटा के साथ एक खासियत है पाकिस्तान की गाड़ी भारत में स्टॉक है फॉर्च्यूनर
It's about how you play around with the numbers. But 50% of them were married. What's happening? That's was it elitematrimony.com? Okay. So who is that making some noise? It looks like I'm the one. Okay, anyway, don't bother. So got market share in place, understood? Yes, sir. What relative market? What is relative market? What did I tell him about relative market share? Somebody look at this. How many scooters did he sell? He sold 4,000 scooters. What is the total number of scooters sold? 10,000. So that is a market share of 40%. That great data. But remember, compared to somebody who sold, let's say 4,000 is not you. 4,000 is, let's say, Bajaj. Then 3,000 is you. So now, or no, actually here they are comparing between 40 and 600. Compared to 4,000, he is only doing a relative market share of 1.5. So who do you compare? The formula is business units saved in the units against the leading rival business. You could be the market leader, then this data doesn't really apply. I'm always the market leader. Anyway, I'm the market. But if you're not the market leader, then you might come back and say, I have done this better than the others. Following me? Then market growth. How did my market grow compared to previous year? This is something that we did. Then relative market growth is something we did. Bajaj didn't grow well this year, but I grew well this year. That is the one. OTT, what is OTT? Netflix has the greatest, largest number of, understand this. Netflix, I put this slide this morning. Netflix has the largest number of subscribers. See, they are now screening the World Cup. It has few subscribers. That is data. But what happened over the last 15 days? In the month of November, Netflix, I think Netflix added 10,000 subscribers, whereas Z Cinema added 100,000 subscribers. So there is something that Z is doing right, which has resulted in them, despite having a lower market share, their market growth is very good. Understand the term? The cinema houses are dying. Nobody is going to cinema houses. Inox added 5,000 fewer visitors this year, while PVR added only 500 more. So Inox is happy that though the market is dying, more people are coming to watch movie in my theater rather than in PVR. It's most likely that PVR will shut shop before I shut shop. But some analysis, whether that makes sense or not. So 4 terms we discussed. And after having done all that discussion, what do you do with it? What do you do? You understood market growth, you understood related market growth, market share, everything you understood. What do you do with it? How does this mean your company? What does that mean? Where should I focus on? Where should my potential energy be on? We are on so many businesses. Tata is in the business of salt, software, steel. Give me one more S. Can't think of it.
Consulting.
Consulting with an S. Okay. Okay. So TCS. Okay. So where do we focus our energy? What market should I pay attention? What market should I? So Boston Consulting Group said that I'll give you one formula, I'll give you one technique, I'll give you one methodology, which you can put all your businesses in a certain manner so you know where to focus your energy on. Please pay attention. If you haven't understood any one of these, please ask me 100 times and I'm willing to give you. So business growth matrix or Boston Consulting Group said that any business of yours can be classified as stars, question marks, cash cows, and dogs. So what are stars? We can stick to one slide and complete it, or we can go to each side. Give me an example of a star. Who is a star performer? Shah Rukh Khan or Amir? Shah Rukh, none of them. You might say Shah Rukh Khan. No doubt about it, Shah Rukh Khan. What about Akshay? So what is a star? What is a star? Now enough of Shah Rukh Khan. What qualifies a star? Wait. Conditions. Market share, market growth, market potentials. Now you tell me what is star. If I have 100 crores, I wish I had, I wouldn't put it on Shahrukh. Which movie should I produce? Who should be the hero of that? Why? Why Shahrukh? Why? The fan base is growing and more eyeballs are becoming. Fair enough. Is that a real thing? Okay. What is a question mark? What is a question?
Movie topic.
I want to take movie topic. What is a question?
Any match for the content that matters.
Let's say, what do you think was the all of us have watched that movie Kankara. I mean, if you are talking about, I was actually over taken away that I even put her name on the demographic. So, what went in the mind of the guy called Rishabh Shetty, right? When he made the movie, was he 100% sure it would be a hit? No. So what do you think? Maybe I would be a hit. Why? Because there's some uniqueness in my content and possibly it would do well. Somebody risks his business to get it. Okay. So beyond a point, we cannot go sticking on to movies as an example, but stars, question marks, cash cow. What is a cash cow? If you look at, I don't know how many of you watch Sony television. If you look at it, they have 3 cash cows. They have KBC, they have Kapil Sharma show, and they have Indian Idol. Because that's when the TV is at its highest volume in my house. Okay. With the exception of Kapil Sharma, which of course I watch. So what is a cash? You're not doing anything. That's the existing business. Nobody is entering into that market. Nobody's going banega, kaun banega, multi crore, how is that market? Market is not growing all that well, right? Nobody's adding in more businesses, no competition is coming up. It's a cool, nice business for it. So cash cows are those where your competitor is not getting very aggressive. The business also is not growing, but you have a unique formula. You're sitting a nice. Every year you will have Amitabh Bachchan. Every year you have Indian Idol. Then nice, no competitor, things are going. Things are going. So we got stars because if you put money on it, it definitely makes money. Question mark, we're not very sure. And cash cows are constantly. What are dogs? Dogs are those businesses that don't really, you're adding like those business which is not growing, and those where your market share is also not. But I don't think I can give you a movie example. So now let's try getting into the real. So now look at this. What is a star? A star is where the relative market share is very high. Among all other film stars, people love to watch Salman. So his relative market share is excellent. And people, the entire movie industry is growing. So if you put your money here, you're going to be sure that it's going to be a success. Why? Because now let's get into the actual product. Let's look at any product for that matter. Name any company, name any product. Vim, as a matter of fact, Vim has been in the news. I don't know if you've been seeing, is that Vim has a very high market share. Every house has got a Vim. I got either a Vim bar or a Vim liquid. I actually wanted to forward you guys that article for discussion today. So 55% of the market, or 55 out of 100 houses have a Vim bar. And people are washing more and more. So the market is growing, and who is the market leader? Vim. So perfect position. This is the position for any company. That's your star product. This is question mark. What is the question mark? I'm not very sure, but the market is growing, superbly growing. That is Patanjali. Maybe he knows that I have to produce an equivalent of Vim because the market needs it. But will the customer accept my product? Don't know, but it's worth the risk. I am going to stick onto this. So where the market is growing and my market share is very, very low is called a question mark. What is that? Some sound that somebody's battery going down. So the other is the market growing? No, market is almost dead. But what is your market share? Oh, I have a huge market share. Example of anything where the market is not growing, but you are the leader. I can think of one, Parle biscuits. Which one? Perfect. So nobody's buying that, but in that market, I am a leader. This is the cash cow. Now, what is this? Dogs. What is the market share of dog? Is the market growing? So these are those products which somehow have come to me along with my journey. I added a lot of products. I don't know what to do with them. They're just carrying along. I have a long-term customer contract. So I'm somehow keeping those products. So what should I do? This dog will eventually die. I know where to focus my energy on. Where should you focus your energy? You should continue to focus on star, because you make a small mistake, somebody will come and take over. you have to put your money on question mark because you're not sure whether it will work or not work. And cash cows, it's going on, but be careful if you don't take care of it, the cow will die. So you have to take care of it. So Boston Consultancy Group said that you could arrange any one of your companies in these 4 products of your companies in these 4 quadrants. Okay, are you following me? Okay, so what is that? Dogs. Let's look at one example. I'm skipping these slides because I guess you guys know what I'm over. I have just about 15 minutes left. Look at this. ITC, which is their cash cow. See, the market is not growing. People continue to use the product. I don't have to spend my energy. There's huge profitability in that. That's your cash cow. Star. Here, whoever wrote this business, I believe their paper boards, their agriculture products are their key products which are selling. I might want to add ITC hotels, maybe their star product, or ITC software could also be their prime products. As you can see, question mark. ITC wanted to get into furniture business. ITC wanted to get into what is it called, tobacco. So they are not very sure whether what will happen on it. The dog is ITC Infotech. Whoever did this matrix believes that ITC Infotech is not growing, but they have existing customers. They may want to kind of hold on. So any products of the company can be put into 4 categories. Make sense? Okay. So in your second assignment, I will be asking you to take a company, review the company, and say how will it be in 4 years. Put them in 4 quadrants. Let's look at any company for that. Let's say Coke or Pepsi. Name what are their products? You have Star. What is it? Star is which one? Aerated brands. Okay. So this is Star. Then this is question mark. This is cash cow. This is all your aerated products. The question mark would be maybe they also have Pepsi has those oats. They may have their oats here. Then the cash cow could be the Kinley water. Maybe I'm mixing up Pepsi and this one. This could be that purified water. Dogs could be, I don't know what dogs could be. But 5 years from now, you think aerated water would still be the cash cow? No, it could change. Something that's aerated water will become a dog. Nobody wants to touch that. It will become a taboo. You know the new taboo, right? Dash is the new tobacco. I think I asked you the question. Sugar. So who wants to get into that business? So that is what it is. So Boston Consulting Group said that I'm going to put, this is Google. Google said YouTube, Android, Gmail, Google Plus are my start products. Cash cow, search engine and advertising. Nobody doubts it. Let's look at question mark. This is an old one. I think they have done well. Actually, they have done very well. It's very old. Google Docs. I'm right now using Google Docs. Google Drive. All of us are using Google Drive. Google Class may be the one which died, I guess. So you see a question mark. Huh? Google Class. Google Hangouts. Google Hangouts could be, but Google, this is Google Glass. Glass. That went bad, right? So dogs, Orkut, gone. Google News, I still subscribe to Google News. Google Group is dead. Google Reader also died. So perfect example. Stars, and I guess they have now. What I see missing out here is your Google Maps. Google Maps, this must be a very old style. Must be a very old. Google, which is the other one? Search engine. Correct. So many of them, and so you get the point. Eventually, in my opinion, Google Gmail will drop from being a star, because all of us are now looking at new ways of communicating, Slack and other ways. Eventually, I think over 4 or 5 years, it could become a secondary way of. Get it? Got it? Okay. But why should we always look at Boston Consultancy Group? We could also look at another particular. This I'll not get here. Yeah? So, if Boston Consultancy Group can come up with what is called the 4 options, GE, McKinsey said, we are no less than Boston Consulting. We will not give you 4, we'll give you 9 options. The green options, the yellow options, and the red options. What does it mean? Green, what do you think it means? Good, nice. Yellow, red, get. So if you know the answers for it, what do you think is on this axis and what do you think is on this axis? Good to. What is on this axis? Good to moderate, and this one? Industry attractiveness versus business unit strength. They just change the terms. Everybody, why do you want to use the term market share? That Boston Consulting is using market share. So I will use the word industry attractiveness. Is the industry attractive? When the industry is attractive, what happens? Competitors also get it. And so, are you, your business unit, the strongest? Then put your money here, put more money, put more money, put more money. But is the industry attractiveness low? Nobody is going into that. Nobody wants to enter that industry. And what is your strength? My strength is B. So what does they say? Harvest. What does harvest mean? Take it and get rid of it, sell it off. But if you're not sure, you may want to hold on. Okay, so we have Boston Consultancy Group, and then we have GE. With the last one that I added for our conversation today is, all of this you will read, is what is known as the business model canvas. New thing that I, new offering. No, but new offering, no sale. Huh? The new offering is at list price. Okay, so what we said is, what is happening is, lots of these professors and lots of these business leaders, when they do their PhDs, when they do the, what are they doing? They come up with new techniques of doing anything. One of the very, very common technique is the business model canvas. This is very, very new, maybe 5 years. 5 years in a teaching is considered super fast. Otherwise, so what did he say is, okay, Boston Consultancy Group is fine, the line matrix is fine, but at the end of all this, you must draw a picture. How do you do? What is the canvas? Anybody who knows painting, what is a canvas? It's the initial piece of work that you do, and then you paint on it, right? So what he said is that any model, any business, we will use this model, and this is something that you should remember and you will start using it later on, is that in this model, all those questions are being asked. We can start from anywhere. Customer segment. Who is my customer? What is the customer segment that I'm trying to address? Let's take a very, very popular example of Uber. Uber, who is my customer?
The person who is smart.
Who is my customer?
Customer
That's the one to drive.
Who doesn't have a vehicle?
Or who wants to use a taxi license? Is he the only customer? Is there one more customer?
You don't want to drive.
There's one more big customer base you're forgetting for Uber.
Want to drive the car.
Or what do you call it?
Drivers.
The driver. There are two customers. The guy who wants to take the taxi and the taxi driver. There are two of them, right? The taxi driver is the Uber customer, right? There are two customers. One who actually takes the Uber service and drives his car. One who takes the Uber service to travel. So I have two customers. Customer one is ongoing transit passengers, and the other one is the car owner or the taxi owner. What is my relationship with the customer? My relationship with the customer is, or rather, I'll go to the value. What am I telling the customer? Value proposition to the driver is what?
Money.
Whenever you want to. No order on money, switch it out. So I give you customer on demand. And what do I tell my customer? My other customer, you get a taxi on demand. So the value proposition to them is that this is what it is. And how is my relationship with the customer? I have a relationship which is very transparent to one end, but not very transparent. I have one relationship between Uber and the drivers. There's another set of relationship that is between the consumer and the Uber. So that's two different. How is my channel of communication? There's only one mode of communication, which is the app. So then, what are the key activities that I'm doing? I'm actually doing billing services, using whatever is the other new driver registration, new customer onboarding, all of them. Which are my key resources? My key resources are the software services, the payment gateway. Those are all my key. Who are my key partners? My partners could be Paytm. My partner could be Google Maps. My partners could be anybody else. And from what are my cost structures? Where will my money be spent? My money will be spent on advertising, software development, and all those things. And where will my revenue come from? The revenue from customers, or maybe tomorrow it can come from advertising or whatever. So a business model canvas is used for these things. Okay, good. Are we at 4:30 exactly? Another 5 minutes. Okay, so that I'm more or less done. And I want you to pay attention to both these. Is that any product, don't take it for granted. A star can, and sometimes what happens, the axis changes in each one of them. So a star can also become a cash cow, and a cash cow will also have a debt. Okay, if you don't pay attention to its services. And you have seen a lot of these companies have go through that period of death and retirement, early retirement. Okay, so that's all I have. I guess by next week you'll be submitting your assignment. Any doubt on the assignment? No, but since you haven't seen it, no doubt, right? No? Perfect. Okay. So what? Somebody's picking up Nokia. Whatever. Any other group? What are you picking up? Netflix. I know Mitsubishi there. Group 7. Nokia. Yeah, you can, both of you can take the same one. Now, where are these guys? Very quiet today. Deepak, Jayesh, Nikhil, Sayak, what are you guys doing? I have not interacted much with you. So, starting from next class, we will start doing B2B. Enough of B2C, enough of all this consumer stuff. We go to B2B. B2B one class, pricing one class, and then competition. Right? Okay. I think our next class is on September 18th, December 18th. Assessment. I tell you why that assessment is very, very important. When I was studying in school and doing my SSLC, we had third language in Hindi. And Hindi is what? 25 marks or 50 marks. But that was called oxygen. What? No. It's max. This Hindi marks will be added. So the over in doing the marks assessment, the similar situation. Okay, so I didn't do that. So the 5 marks can be pulled out from the and added. So similarly, you do some mischief during your assignments. Don't do it in time. These marks will come to you handy when I give you the assessment. Okay, so make sure that's to do it. Got it? Today evening. I don't have to follow up because when your Google form comes, it comes with a timestamp. So if you don't submit it between today, I won't even go home and do it now. Yes, sir. Yes.
I saw the empty slides are there.
It's still compact closely.
ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಸೇರಿ amount ಮಾತಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಲಿಂಕ್ ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಅವ್ರು ಏನು ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಅಲ್ಲ